Can you provide me with a list of 10 steps that I need to take in order to complete each of those steps? Could you also provide me with a list of 10 steps for each of those till you're using your specific muscles? This raises a lot of questions, don't you think? The first point is that while LLMs can provide some abstract answers to some of those questions, they won't be able to replicate the millisecond by millisecond muscle control required to get out of a chair. Correct. Thus, you can describe using words, but only to a certain extent. They might be able to provide you with a plan, but only if they have received the necessary training. They will be unable to prepare for circumstances they have never faced before. Essentially, they will need to repeat the template they were instructed on in a recent broadcast. The full self-driving 12.3 update from Tesla has attracted a lot of attention because to its amazing features, but there is a lot of worry about its midterm planning, especially in the 20 to 30 second range. Nevertheless, there may be hope because Lex Fridman and Yan Lun recently spoke about a possible solution. They investigated the idea of VGA as a potential solution to this problem. Let's analyze this interview to see what we can discover. However, before you do anything else, remember to click the like and subscribe boxes. Let's get going now. The foundation of VGA's operations is hierarchical planning, which divides difficult jobs into smaller, more doable segments. For example, rather than organizing every aspect of a journey from New York to Paris, one would set more general goals, like getting to the airport and boarding a flight, and then further divide these into more specific ones, like calling a cab and passing through security. The successful use of hierarchical planning in AI systems is still difficult, despite its potential. Without all the components, it's like trying to solve a jigsaw. Although Tesla's fully autonomous 12.3 is a technological achievement, its planning skills could use some work. Might VGA be the answer? An expert recently discussed the difficulties of planning multi-step projects, comparing them to commonplace situations such as planning a trip to Whistler, British Columbia, or traveling from New York to Paris. They underlined how difficult it is to anticipate every detail, particularly when dealing with unforeseen circumstances like flight delays or strange surroundings when you arrive. The expert then moved on to the topic of autonomous driving, describing how Tesla's fully autonomous technology addresses both top-down and micro-level planning by using resources such as Google Maps for route direction and real-time obstacle detection. They did, however, identify a crucial area where FSD currently fails in the 20 to 30 second planning range. According to Yan Lun, the problem is the computational cost of predicting every millisecond of movement, a task that is doable for industrial robots, but unfeasible for cars driven by humans. Human-driven operations like driving necessitate flexible, real-time decision-making, whereas industrial robots can do repetitive tasks with careful planning. They also looked at how other businesses, like as NVIDIA and Tesla, are addressing the problem of hierarchical planning. They underlined the necessity of planning at several levels of abstraction in order to enable optimal task navigation by vehicles or humanoid robots. They did point out a major obstacle, though, in bridging the gap between minute real-time actions and high-level planning. The possibility of using language models to help with work planning was mentioned in passing, and their capacity to create plans using training data was acknowledged. They did, however, draw attention to the limitations of LLMs in creating plans for activities involving complex physical actions or unexpected environments, highlighting the value of experiential learning. In her discussion on joint embedded predictive architecture, the speaker raised the possibility that it could improve hierarchical planning. In their words, they were excited about embodied AI and how it could lead to more intelligent agents. Although a wide range of subjects were discussed, such as embodied AI and high-bandwidth learning, the main emphasis was on the need for sophisticated planning architectures like GEA to achieve efficient hierarchical planning in autonomous systems. In any case, Yan feels that the transformer architecture and diffusion models are missing a critical component, even though the concept here is on the potential of big language models. He contends that because these structures deal with language, an abstraction of reality, rather than reality itself, they are by nature disembodied. Additionally, they need a lot of data to train, which is a problem for Tesla right now as it tries to properly train its bots. Yan argues that because joint embedding predictive systems are hierarchical rather than generative, they provide a solution to this issue. He presents VIPPA, a novel architecture created by Meta with the goal of building extremely intelligent machines that can learn just as effectively as people. Similar to how a baby learns by watching its parents, VIPPA can understand notions about the physical world since it has been pre-trained on video data. VIPPA works with masked input videos and doesn't need to be fine-tuned like generative models do. Without direct supervision, it makes predictions about what will occur in the masked-out area after drilling a hole in the video block. Yan highlights the significance of this strategy by pointing out that it keeps the model from depending on less successful autoregressive training. How do you feel about this new design for AI? Will it make people more optimistic about Tesla? Numerous industry experts agree, and you know who else is as optimistic about Tesla? Our pals from Seeking Alpha. There is more to Tesla's remarkable success than merely watching from the sidelines. Seeking Alpha is your one-stop shop for the most recent information on Tesla, Elon Musk, Tesla innovation, and stock price targets for bulls and those with an eye for finding the next big thing in the stock market. The greatest online source of pro-Tesla news is Seeking Alpha. Get to the truth without getting sucked into the mainstream media's anti-Tesla rhetoric. For a unique discount, click the link in the description. The difference between generative AI and what is being shown with this VGA model is what is truly taking place here. You're basically asking the model to fill in the missing pixels when you use generative AI. For example, you might ask the AI to recreate the original image if you had an octagonal stop sign and chopped away a section. This method, however, is computationally costly and does not reflect how people organically engage with the environment. Instead of perceiving every detail, humans construct an abstract picture of their environment. You might mentally map out where items are in your office, for example, without having to remember every pixel. Similar to this, VGA anticipates what will happen in masked-out areas of a video by operating in a latent space, which is a condensed representation of reality. Rather than creating pixel-perfect reproductions, the goal is to comprehend the context. The predictive architecture of VGA, which enables it to eliminate extraneous details and concentrate on grasping the core of a scene, is its strongest point. This method results in more effective training and a more profound comprehension of the universe. VGA makes a more solid contribution to the advancement of machine intelligence by forecasting what will happen in videos. With its emphasis on comprehension rather than duplication, this release represents a significant step toward AI's capacity to perceive the world. VIPPA aims for a deeper comprehension of the underlying concepts, similar to how humans naturally see and explain their surroundings, whereas generative models strive for pixel-perfect precision. Regenerating intricate scenes pixel by pixel is a difficult task in machine learning. Rather of replicating every detail, models such as VIPPA concentrate on comprehending the core of a scene. This method enables more thorough comprehension of item interactions in dynamic situations, as well as more effective training. An important step in the development of machine intelligence has been taken with the distribution of VIPPA under a Creative Commons non-commercial license for researchers. It permits additional investigation and growth in the comprehension of the universe and the effective completion of difficult activities, like driving to the airport or negotiating shifting traffic circumstances. Similar to how Japan compares abstract representations of images rather than actual pixels, VIPPA's non-generative method learns by predicting missing portions of a video in an abstract representation space. Because of its adaptability, it can eliminate material that isn't useful, increasing training efficiency by up to 6 times. Furthermore, because it has been fully pre-trained using unlabeled data, it can adapt to a variety of jobs with little assistance from humans. According to Yan and Meta, self-supervised pre-training on the encoder and predictor components of the model could greatly improve the capabilities of systems like fully autonomous cars and humanoid robots. Labeled data is not necessary for these systems to gain a grounded understanding of the world. By training lightweight specialized layers on top of this, the computer resources needed for training in addition to reducing the demand.